Welcome to Let's Talk Common Sense with Libertyville Savings Bank. We will be sharing financial tips, tricks, and tidbits that might not be so common sense. We are a bank that's willing to try new approaches in an effort to educate our customers and our communities. Follow along as we interview employees, vendors, and customers in all things finance. Welcome back. I'm your host, Colby Dio, and today I have with me our debit card pro, Kim Van Velzer. Kim does a fantastic job of handling anything and everything related to debit card usage. She knows the ins, the outs, and has some tips and tricks to share with us today. Unfortunately, with the increased use of debit cards also comes increased debit fraud. We have an excellent fraud center that is constantly monitoring card activity for anything unusual, but there are measures you can take to protect your information. Hi, Kim. Thanks for joining me today.
Hey, Colby. How are you?
I'm great. I have just a few questions here for you. The first one I have is one that we hear a lot of. Why do I need a daily limit on my card?
So limits are important for you for many reasons. Most importantly, because if somebody obtains your card number and makes a duplicate card or starts ordering online, your limit that you have set is what they are allowed to spend from your account on a daily basis.
Okay.
And
then if I'm going to go shopping, if I'm going to make a larger purchase, whatever it may be, I can always call in and request a higher limit, correct?
Yes. The limits can be changed. You can call in. We can do it for a day. We can do it for a weekend. We can do it for a week. And those are changed immediately. So there's no waiting period. As soon as you call us, we update it and you're ready to go.
Perfect. That leads me to my next question. Do I need to let the bank know if I'm traveling? Like if I'm going to raise my limit for the week, do I need to let you know at that same time that I'm going to be out of the area?
Yeah. Your financial institution and your credit card companies really kind of keep track of your spending habits for you as part of your fraud protection. And if they see that the card is being used somewhere out of your normal area, they'll put a temporary block on it until they confirm it was actually you using the card. So it's always a great idea to call the bank and say, hey, I'm going to be in Missouri this weekend. I just wanted to let you know. And we'll just put you in the travel log and then you're ready to go.
Oh, perfect. That's very simple. Make both calls at once then.
Right.
So whether you're taking a trip or if you're just at the local gas station, you're going to fill up your vehicle, I know I've heard you say before that you should use your card as a credit when paying for fuel at the pump. Why is that?
So there's a couple of reasons for that. First of all, because gas stations have changed the way that they pre-authorize purchases now. So if you run it as a credit, they pre-authorize $1 to make sure that the card's good, and then they let you pump. But if you run it as a debit, they pre-authorize it different, and they say, oh, this is a checking account, so we want to make sure they have enough money in their account to make this purchase. Mm-hmm. And that's ranged between $50 and $250.
Wow.
Depending on where you're at. If you don't have that much money in your account, it just gets declined.
So even though I may have $20 in my account, they still are pre-authorizing $50 to $250?
Yeah.
Wow.
So then you just don't get to pump it. The other reason, and I say this is the main reason, is because those pumps aren't monitored 24/7. There's just not somebody at the gas station 24/7.
Sure.
So if somebody would put a skimmer or a camera on those, they'd be able to get your card number and your PIN number, make a duplicate card, and go to an ATM and take cash out of your account.
I know I've heard you say that before, and I'm sure I have probably gotten more than one funny look, but I always wiggle the card reader before paying at the pump. Like, nothing aggressive. I just tug a little bit on it to make sure that there's nothing on there that shouldn't be. And then another thing is to remember to always use the pumps that are closer to the building, right? They have better lighting, more cameras on them.
Right, and the cameras are, usually based off the front of the building, so what they're catching is the stuff that's closer up. Then they can get more clear pictures of people, driver or license plate numbers. That's a really good plan. Always be as close as you can. But it's safety too,
Sure.
Always safer.
So if I am not paying at the pump, I'm paying in the gas station or I'm paying for groceries, wherever it may be that I'm using my debit card, does it matter if I'm using debit or credit when checking out?
Yeah, obviously when you're ordering online or paying online, you're going to always run that as a credit because it doesn't have the option to put your PIN number in. But if you're in a store or at the merchant yourself and making the payment, swiping your card, it's definitely better for you to use your PIN number. And that's because as a financial institution, we put specific safety parameters in place. So each transaction that you do, no matter what it is, debit or credit, creates a fraud score. And then the higher it scores, the less likely it is for it to go through. So using your PIN number will let it go through every time.
Okay. You mentioned online. Is it safe to use my debit card online?
Yeah, absolutely. But I would say always be aware of who you're using it with. Check to make sure it's a secure site. Is the company reputable? Do they have customer service contact information that you can call, email, or chat with if needed? There's a lot of times that people think, oh, this is good. I found it on Facebook. I'm going to order it. And they are a disaster. So make sure that you're on a secure site. And you know that if there's a little padlock in the bar.
Sure. And just because the site you were on, such as maybe Facebook, is a secured site, the ad spaces are not related to that site. So it could go to who knows where.
That is correct.
Right?
That is correct.
Okay. There's a ton of websites anymore that try to get you to sign up for a free trial. But as we know, most of them still require you to enter some kind of card information. Is that a bad idea?
Honestly, yes. There's no such thing as free. And what happens is people will sign up and they think, okay, I'm going to get this great product. I really want it. And it's only $4.95 for the shipping and handling. So I'm getting a deal. What happens is these companies are allowing between 7 and 14 days to get that canceled. And if you don't cancel it, then they start auto shipping that product out to you at full cost.
Oh, wow.
And then in turn, because you gave them your information and you didn't cancel it, it's not fraud, and you have to kind of fight it out with the merchant or vendor to get your money back and get it canceled.
Okay. So what if there is truly something that I did not sign up for, I did not give them my debit card information, the charge shows up on my account, what do I need to do?
Okay, so in these instances, what you do is you'll contact your bank or your credit card company to find out exactly what the charge is for and where it's coming from. And then at that point, you'll reach out to the merchant or vendor and try to get a little more information from them. And when you're done there, if you know, hey, this isn't right, these aren't mine, you let your bank know again, and then we'll do fraud dispute paperwork. We'll send it to you, have you sign it, or come into the bank and sign the paperwork. We'll give you a provisional credit, submit the paperwork to our fraud department. They go back to the vendor to get the money back. If it comes back to us at that point and says, hey, this is actually your customer and we have proof of it, then we'll go back in and take that provisional credit back from you. But if it comes back and it's somebody else's name and it was delivered somewhere else, then you keep your credit and the bank just takes that loss.
All right. Well, thank you, Kim. This has been some really great, very, very helpful information. Thank you for coming on today, and thank you for all you do for our customers here at LSB. I know you get tons of questions every day, and you're always helping somebody with their debit card, so we really appreciate that.
No problem. I love what I do here.
Thanks, Kim.
Thanks.
Thank you for joining us on Let's Talk Common Sense. Be sure to subscribe to receive notifications as we release new episodes.